Hello, everybody. It is your Uncle Fish back again for School of Fish Art Stream. J-Man wants Gatling gun on the end of his tail. Oh my goodness. J-Man says the tail's where you put all the heavy artillery. Yeah. Said he used to have a howitzer on the end of his tail.
Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well this beautiful, what is it, Tuesday morning? Oh, the days are running together for you, Uncle Fishy. Um, I hope everybody's having a wonderful Tuesday morning. It is, of course, your Uncle Fish, on the School of Fish Art Stream every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have that finally memorized into my head. I don't have to dwell on it too hard. I'm trying to think of it. I'm trying to look up pictures of pictures of Buzz Lightyear as Mrs. Nesbit from Toy Story because bless her heart, the next person that ordered a sketch cover of the Mighty Caw wants him dressed as Mrs. Nesbit of all things. So that's what we're doing because whatever the customer wants, we're pimping ourselves out. Yes, indeed, boys and girls. And he wants a sketch card of Guy Gardner. But the Mrs. Nesbit sketch cover, I figured was going to take a little bit more work because you got to get that look right, got to get that pretty pink apron just so. Um, let's see, let me switch this over so we can see what we're doing here. Here we go. How is that? I'm gonna I'm gonna try moving this over if I can. Uh, right there. Hopefully that's not too bad, but that'll make it easier when I'm trying to edit this later and make shorts out of it to have it in one piece that I can cut. And it's just gonna be a little glitchy. I apologize. I am trying to figure out a way to fix that problem, and I have yet to be able to fix it. Um, it has been a real bane of my existence trying to figure that out. I thought for the longest time that click in my video was because I was on the same circuit as the deep freeze in the other room. But I've moved. I'm not on the same circuit anymore. I'm not on the same breaker. I have no idea what the click is. I don't know if it's coming from my power lines. I don't know if it's coming from inside my computer. The webcam over my head is a brand new webcam and it's still clicking. I it must be something inside the computer or something. I don't know. It's it's frustrating. Uh, oh, I think my glasses fishy. What are you doing, crazy man? Trying to do your drawings and funny pictures without your glasses on? What kind of craziness is this? I'm not cutting this here. I may pimp myself out and draw silly things, but I am not gonna cut Cause arm off. That just goes against Everything CAW stands for. Cro-Magnon way, mom, crow apple pie, and not getting your arms cut off. Fishy just screaming into the void today. Ain't nobody coming. He said she don't love me no more. She's not gonna watch the show. Said she had enough of my foolishness. Of course, Kyron is gone because Kyron Butler's had the day off and he has to take his own kids to the school like a savage. We forgot to put on a lo-fi hip hop beats because there wasn't no Sarah's and Katie's in here to tell me, hey, you're not playing no music, Fishy. Crazy old Sarah's, Katie's, whatnots, and the who's have yous and what all. Really good look good. That's one thing I like about going live on TikTok. I can play my own music and they don't really seem to care. And I play some pretty obscure stuff anyway. I was playing all mashups the other day that would be pretty hard for, I think, a bot to catch. Well, I better get back over just in case somebody jumps in the chat and says hello, but I don't think that's going to happen. Uncle Fish is going to be working on his own today because, you know. Oh, oh, that would be even better. Dude, boys and girls, I got it. What is PJ, Phil, whichever moniker you're going by this day? It is good to see you, man. I am working on the craziest. Let's see, can you see that? It is the Mighty Caw as Mrs. Nesbit from Toy Story. And I didn't want to cut Caw's arm off because, Caw's my boy. But then it hit me just now. There's no reason he couldn't have cut a Space Ranger's arm off and used it. I'm thinking he's the Mighty Nesbit. Because it's Caw, it's going to be a bloody stunt. Well, maybe I should shorten it a little bit. That doesn't look right. Hey, PJ, that's one thing I miss about working digitally is you get that nice bloody stunt drawn. I could have just moved it and not have to draw it all over again. But, it's all right. It's also cool to get to be working by hand again. Like, I didn't realize how much I missed it. Well, I did. I just tried not to think about it too much because, what was I going to do? Start doing sketch covers every day? Nobody'd want to pay for that, they told me. Nobody would want to order multiple sketch covers a day, they said. But you know what? They lied. They lied to me, PJ. They lied to me, Javon. I'm working on paper right now. I still think it's better than digital. I mean, there are so many things I like better about working traditionally on paper. Like, there are so many little effects I can get with just the brush pen that would take so much work to recreate digitally. And like, there's so many things I could do with just, just acrylic paint on a brush. And I could just drop a few things in real quick. Phil says he don't do nothing on paper. He's a nerd. And man, I love it. I miss it. Like, I really would love to get a large scale printer and like do all my pencils and layouts and stuff in Clip Studio and then print them in like Blue Line and at 11x17 and ink them by hand. Like, I'd really love to do that. It's just the time aspect. I save so much time working digitally, and not for nothing with my Tourette syndrome and sometimes my hands are real shaky. Uh, I have to be perfectly steady to be able to do this stuff by hand, which I can do more now than I used to be able to do. Used to, I might only have a steady hand for 1 hour in 3 weeks, and that just wasn't going to work. But now, like, it's better, it's more consistent, but still, there'd be a lot of days where, like, I wouldn't be able to work after 2 o'clock in the afternoon anymore. But because I'm working digitally and I have my pin set to even out my trimmer, I can keep working until midnight. And, yeah, it's good or bad, but I'm getting a lot of books out. I really kind of dig this, except for the Space Ranger's hand is too high. And again, if I was working digitally, all I would have to do is select that and move it, and I'd be done, ready to go on to inks. And instead, I have to draw it again, which isn't the end of the world by any means. But it's just, it takes time. And time is money. But I kind of liked the gag of some of the tea spilling out, because cause anything but dainty. And this way, we've still got the gag of Buzz Lightyear wagging the extra arm around, except this time he's ripped off a Space Ranger's arm, and he still has both his arms, because I just can't bring myself to do that to Call. I don't know if y'all can see it too well, but there we go. There we go. That's a little bit better, a little bit closer. He's wagging that Space Ranger's arm around with a cup of tea and is being all angry. And that's not fun. No. Drawing me some little lines to work off of. Mrs. Nesbit. Okay, apparently I spelled it wrong, but we can fix that. All right, that's gonna work, I believe. I do. So what are you guys working on? You working on paper right now, Javon? What are you working on? If I may be so bold as to ask, as to delve into the depths of your creative process. Devon said he ain't telling me shit. He said, it's not up to you to know, fat man. You gotta wait and see. You gotta buy the book like everybody else. And I said, cruel but fair. It just doesn't look like a word to me. Don't you hate that? Like, some words, especially after you've been looking at them for a while, or like searching for the right font for a while for this word, and then it just quits looking like a word altogether, and you just don't believe it could be right anymore. No, that's not, what's not a word? W-H-A-T. That's ridiculous. I don't know what I was thinking of. That's not a word. Mr. Fish, who call themselves that. That's ridiculous. Was your mother some kind of pot smoking hippie? They'd tell me. I'd say no, she wasn't. But you say it again, I'll carve my name into your forehead so you never forget it. And they'd laugh and I'd laugh. And they wouldn't know I had my hand on a straight razor in my pocket. I wasn't a very nice kid. Maybe it has something to do with being a fish. I grew up quick, I grew up lean, wits got sharp. Roll from town to town, had my shame. Some guy'd snicker and I'd get red. Some guy'd laugh and I'd bust his head. I tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Fish. I already swore that little hat had a band on it, but I don't see one in any of the artwork, so I'm not just going to manufacture one. It's funny the things you pick up from other books that you work on and stuff. Like the fact that Caw has these eye holes around his mask is absolutely due to all of the issues of the Sentinels that I've drawn for Roy over at Standard Comics. Because so many of his characters have those, kind of flash open eye holes in their mask so that you can see around their eyes. And I've enjoyed it so much because it's given me so much extra room for expression. That I wouldn't have thought it would have been that nice, but I've really enjoyed it. having that extra room to show off the character's expression in their eyes. And so, like, having that space around his eyes is 100% because of working on the Sentinels. There she is. I tell you, it's been hard out here not having a Katie hanging out with us, checking on us, keeping us in line, keeping it down to a fun crazy and not a we need to notify somebody kind of crazy. Well, dang, Katie. Sorry, I was up in the ladder in a tree picking nuts. I didn't ask about your love life, but okay. Glad you was having fun. I just gotta give you a hard time for being late to the shows, all. But I can't really say nothing because I've missed several shows lately. There's one person supposed to be here. It's the host. That's what they told me when I went to podcasting school. They covered that in orientation. One thing you want to be sure you do after making sure you have a webcam and internet connection, be surprised how many people are just sitting in a room talking to themselves thinking they're podcasting. They think they're doing an art stream with thousands of viewers. It turns out they're just scribbling in the walls of their closet. Can't nobody see that crazy? But they didn't go to podcasting school like me. I'm waiting with anticipation for my new art LEDs to get in, my new drawing LEDs. Because I've really gotten used to using these LED holders to draw with, and I really like them, but the LEDs that I got are too soft. And they just smear everywhere, and I can't stand it. I have a bag full of coconuts, and I'm covered in caterpillars, she said. Katie, I'm a married man. Ooh, on a damn girl. Dog flirting with. Katie out here being all sexy, saying things like, hey, baby, how about me, you, a leaf blower, and a 50-gallon drum of baby oil? Let's see what happens. My wife would kill me if she was watching her. She hates it when I make jokes like that. I'll bet there's someone out there that has a thing for someone covered in caterpillars for sure. Rule 34. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm here to tell you, whatever you're into, or whatever you can think of, there's somebody out there that pay good money to look at that on the internet. Oh no, I got bubble gum stuck in my armpit hair. Quick, set up an OnlyFans. To get rich. You may not have a lot of viewers, but the ones you have will be extremely dedicated. I'm sorry for the clicking in the camera. I wish I knew how to fix it. I've been trying everything I can think of. I've been looking at all the online articles about, oh, this is the easy way that you fix it. Flickering in your camera, which would probably be great if those were the problem, but apparently they're not the problem because they don't fix it. I even went so far as to ask my son for help on it. Not that I have a problem asking my kids for help. I couldn't care less. I'm not one of those, my masculinity is not tied to my ability to fix things on my own. But my kids were over for dinner the other day, and I asked them to take a look at it, see if they could maybe think of something that I hadn't thought of, or, every once in a while, they've just been exposed to something that I haven't. And they're like, oh yeah, that's an easy fix. We had to do that, in my economic class one time because XYZ. It's crazy sometimes the things that I've been struggling with, and they're just like, oh yeah, we had to do that in school because of whatever reason. And I had him over tweaking on my microphone while they were here too, because I just don't feel the microphone is catching the full character of my voice. It sounds a little bit hollow to me when I go back and watch them, but also the crisp noise canceling app that I have going takes out some of the sound too. So, and it's going through that before it goes into OBS, before it sends it over here to this. So it's already tweaked before it gets here. But that tweak helps cut out so much of the extra noise and stuff, and cuts out a lot of the dogs barking and stuff. Not all, but a lot. That's coming along. Oh, you got the source book? Awesome. I can't wait to hear what you think about it. I hope you enjoy it. I put a lot of thought and heart into that. Better than my school, she said. We had to teach the IT teacher how to take files back out of the recycling bin. Oh, man. Like, I was laughing with the boys because, like, I was having to ask them for help. And, like, you know, up until the last, I don't know, maybe 10 years, maybe, I was the guy that you go to for computer help and you go to for answers on stuff. Like, you know, how do I do this on my computer or that? And I could usually walk people through the problems without even like having to look at my computer. Oh yeah, you go to this menu, it's over here. But, you know, we grew up on computers. Like, they grew up with us. And so, and, you know, both of my parents had computers. Like, my mom was an accountant and my dad was an engineer, a computer engineer. Like, he designed software and stuff for the oil companies. So, like, we had a home computer long before most other people did, and we had all of the stuff that went with it. Like, we had the disk drive and the printer and all this stuff, where other people usually just had a computer maybe, and it like couldn't really save anything, or but it was just cool that they had one and they could, like, you know, play games on cartridges that came with it or whatever. And we were signed up to a computer programming magazine, and we were programming our own games and stuff, because they would like give you the code in the magazine would come with code for games in it and stuff, and explain to you how it worked and what this code does and how that makes a little sprite move on the screen and how to build the sprite. And I mean, you had to program all that stuff in pixel by pixel. And so it wasn't long before me and my brother were taking the codes from existing games and switching some things around and changing the sprites and making our own games. Like, they had sent out instructions for a like downhill skiing game, and my brother changed the code around and made it a Airwolf game. And, you know, we changed the sprite to be the helicopter Airwolf, for those old enough to remember what Airwolf was, and flipped the code so that it was going up instead of downhill. And then, like, you're flying around and you still have to miss the trees and stuff as you're going up, but like, we could change the trees into whatever we wanted them to be. They could be enemy helicopters or whatever, and or bad guys. And we took code from another game. I don't remember what it was supposed to be, the other game, but we took code from something else and applied it so that we could have Airwolf shooting missiles. It wasn't nearly as, like, a lot of people have heard this. Oh man, that's amazing! You're so brilliant. Not really. We were just cutting and pasting. Basically, we were taking like what somebody else had already figured out, and then just tweaking it so that it was what we wanted it to be. Oh man, sounds like you could have had a career in the games industry. Katie says that's what I went to college for. I mean, it's not what I went to college for, but that ended up being what I was trying to get a job in after college, because my degree ended up being in 3D animation and design. And, the video game industry and the 3D video game industry was taking off. 3D graphics in movies was taking off. And so I was trying to get a job in video games, and the teachers at my school really screwed me because I was the best artist they'd ever had come through. And so they just spent all their time telling me how awesome I was and how rich I was going to be when I got out of school, and how I was going to just start out automatically making six figures at one of these video game companies, which was very encouraging. But they didn't tell me the stuff that I really needed to know, like, hey, you need to know how to put together a good demo video, because they also didn't tell me that each one of those jobs that comes open in May after all the kids are graduating will have 5,000 people applying to it. None of them may be very talented. You may be the most talented person of those 5,000. But if you don't have a good demo video, nobody's going to know that. And they didn't tell me, hey, maybe you need to buckle down and focus and quit running around like a little ADHD chicken with his head cut off. And maybe you need to finish one idea before going on and starting another idea. Maybe starting 100 different ideas and finishing none of them isn't the best way to go about getting a job after college. So when I graduated, I had a whole bunch of hopes and dreams about how great everything was going to go, because they did nothing but blow smoke up my butt about how awesome I was. But I had never finished a single project that I had started on. I always got a new idea and got excited about it and ran off and started working on that idea. So my demo video when I got out of college ended up being a whole bunch of starts and no finishes. And there were lots of little pieces of good ideas and some pieces of good animation and good modeling, but no finished ideas, no completely finished thoughts. If I had just done one of those ideas to completion, I would have got a job no problem. Instead, I got like a whole lot of interviews because they could see I was talented. I got a lot of interviews. And like I had some people try and like hire me out of college, and which didn't help. And they're like, yeah, we want to hire you right now and we'll pay you, $50,000 a year if you come right now. And I was like, nah, I got like 6 months left before I finish college. I don't want to leave without getting my degree. So yeah, I'm gonna stay and get my degree. And they're like, all right, well, we're gonna hire somebody else, and go ahead. That just proved to me that they were going to be falling all over themselves to hire me when I got out of school. Turns out not so much. You live and you learn. Like, standing out among the sea of crap was difficult, just like it is in indie comics now. Like, the beautiful thing about indie comics is it's never been easier to make comics. So everybody can get out and make their story a reality. But that's also the negative side because, not all of those are good. And, now instead of having to stand out among 200 indie books out there, you have to stand out among thousands of not so good books. And that's difficult. Let's see. Phil said, I have a course for C++ game development. Yeah, I tried teaching myself that after school, after college myself, and I got as far as like building little, like, click here to insert your name kind of things, and then I had to work, and I ended up kids to feed pretty soon and couldn't do it. I'm not started it yet. My art tutor ignored me and told the other students my work was something a D student would do. I learned nothing from her. Yeah, the only thing I actually learned from my college professors was I learned a shading technique, and I learned different software programs that I wouldn't have been exposed to if it wasn't for college. But I actually really didn't learn anything from my teachers, and that's a shame. It was a wasted opportunity. I feel you, Katie. My 7th grade English teacher told my then girlfriend she should dump me because I'm going nowhere. We should create a game at some point, Fish. I would love to. I absolutely would love to. It's never been easier now than it used to be, except like I used to be really awesome at 3D design and stuff, and I could build anything. The only limitations I had was the limitations of what the computers could handle. Because like back then, if I tried sculpting a figure this detailed, that computer would crash and never work again. And I did that to 3 computers in the computer lab. Like I destroyed them trying to do like cyborgs with all the little details carved into them. The computers just could not handle that kind of stuff back then. My teachers kept trying to tell me that, I needed to focus more on texture maps and stuff and making it look like they had all that detail, but not actually carving it into the shapes. No, that's not going to look as good. No, it doesn't look as good, but it also doesn't crash a computer and kill it. But I had to learn that the hard way because nobody explained it to me clear enough. And I was egotistical. I wish somebody would have just kicked my butt and said, look, talent is nothing if you're not going to learn how to use it and apply it correctly. But, I wasn't paying attention. I was the awesome star of the art class. Did I leave those in the other room? I did. I left my color swatches in the other room. So we're going to be testing a lot of colors, boys and girls. Figure out and remember which one's which. Okay, there we go. There's the color. I should probably be starting from light to dark, but I never do things the way I'm supposed to. I used my... Okay, I know I left that in here. No, it's in here somewhere. I gotta clean this up. I'm gonna stick this comic book protector in here just so it don't end up bleeding through. I've got a little rubber page thing, little silicone page thing that goes in there. It's really nice, but I don't know. For all I know, I might have shipped it out in a comic book. And if I did ship it out to somebody in their comic book, let me know. I left it in here because I didn't have it in the living room yesterday while I was doing all my art streams. I did 2 sketch covers yesterday on live streams on TikTok because my TikTok shop is going good. And so I did 2 live streams making those, and then got another sale of this right here for a sketch cover and a sketch card because I finally got the black and white and full color sketch cards up in my shop for sale too. Took forever for some reason for TikTok to accept the color sketch card one. I don't know why, but they finally did. And so now if somebody wants a particular sketch card or something, they can get it. Oh goodness, what do we say? I've made a human head so far, which looks good, but the hair is crap. Haha. I need to watch more tutorials. Oh yeah. Oh, I missed a couple here, didn't I? Let's see. PJ said, I kind of want to do an app game, and I'm starting a Swift iOS course after I'm done with your site. Cool. I'm learning Blender out of spite because an ex told me I'd never be able to learn how to do 3D work unless I went to study it in a specialist college. Good for you. Spite's a great motivator. That's right. I remember you saying you were working on Blender. We should create a development team. Says Phil's always got an idea. Phil's always up to something. Yeah. Oh man. And like when I went to college, hair still wasn't a thing you could do. Like we had to figure out ways to fake it and, you know, put texture maps on shapes. And like I would crash the computers because I would make a couple of, you know, thin planes, you know, not even 3-dimensional shapes, just planes that I would put transparent textures on that would have like a few strands of hair and stuff on it, so I could have those moving around and look like, you know, strands of hair falling off the face moving or something. And God, just trying to do that was crashing computers left and right. And now you can just be like, oh yeah, put fur on it. And the computer's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. How fluffy would you like that fur? And you can just render that in real time on like a computer you can buy and fit in your house. You could not do back. You could do it on a phone, for that matter. God. It's amazing how far the technology has jumped since then. And our lives, other than the fact that you can look stuff up and you can doom scroll on your phone anywhere, like that's the only real change. Like I can't really think of anything else that's really much different about our lives other than, you know, we have the internet, which lets us like order things and not have to go to the store. Like we've gotten lazier for sure. We sit around the house more and go out less because we can have our food sent to us and whatnot. So I mean, there's that. But like you would think, like if it was a TV show or a story one of us was writing, there would have been major world shifts because of that level of technology change. And like other than we can shop in our pajamas on the toilet any time of the day or night and stream movies at home and not have to go out to watch a movie, that's I struggle to think of any other major differences. Social media. Social media is a big change. I give you that. We could always do a Paper Mario style app. That way Fish can draw the cutouts, you can fit them on 3D assets, and I'll program them into the game. The guy who does the tutorials I watch has 48 gigabyte of RAM for his 3D stuff. My first computer had 16 mega RAM. Oh yeah, my first computer had 64 KB of RAM. They were so proud of that much RAM that they put it in the name. Call it a Commodore 64. More than you could ever possibly need. That's why it wasn't upgradable. You'll never need more than that, they told us at the Radio Shack. I usually work on a PC that has 32. I can't even remember what mine has. Tell you the God's honest truth. So when I get overconfident when I'm in Blender, Phil says, I start applying transformations that freeze it up. I feel you there. Yeah, sounds like you do need an upgrade there, 80. I've been wondering if, like, with the camera clicking, I've been wondering if I should look into putting a new video card in my desktop here or something. See if maybe getting one that is more aimed towards video and, you know, maybe better designed to handle multiple cameras going at one time might work better and cut out that click. I don't know. I'm like out of options of how to fix it, but I'm tired of looking like an amateur when I go on other people's shows and they're like, hey, you know your camera's clicking? I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm sorry. I wish I could fix it. Like, I'm tired of that moment where I have to keep explaining to people that, yeah, I know it's doing it, I just don't know how to fix it. That's embarrassing. And you'd think with the Tourette's and the yelling out stupid stuff all the time, I'd be used to being embarrassed. And I am. I don't usually care. But this kind of embarrassed where it feels like it's something I should be able to do something about, but I don't know how to fix it. That's a different kind of embarrassing than having uncontrollable neurological disorder that causes misfires in my brain. I've learned not to hold myself accountable for that. But not knowing how to fix my webcam when I used to be the computer guy, that bugs me. All right, let's look at the references again. No, that's too light. That's yellow. That's not even pink. That's pretty dark pink. Is there an R? And there's R24, but it looks like it's purple. It is purple. Look at that. Thank you, man. I'm glad you could hop in for a second. I've been missing you out here in these streets. That could have been worse, I guess. Let's see how that looks when that dries for a second. Let's see, I'm trying to find the color for that part. Let's see. PJ says, I've done a well scene, an eyeball, and a couple other things, I think. I just can't remember right now. Dig it. Kyron says, yeah, this new kid drop-off schedule has my butler on edge. Oh, I can bet, man. You know, and then when you're driving, you know, like the stretch limousines and stuff, that's just a whole pain to get through the drop-off line at school. If I were you, I would have them use the helicopter because the heliport, you know, is a lot less congested most of the time. Of course, in your neighborhood, it might be different. All he does is complain about he's constantly driving, doesn't even have time to eat or pee. Well, too bad, Jeeves. Get my kids to school or you're fired, he says. So Jeeves got fired. Hey, Kyron, we've missed you. We sure have, man. It's good to have you back. That's not the same without you. Katie tries to stir up the shit, but she just doesn't have the natural affinity for the shit stirring that Kyron does. It's a gift. And great power comes great responsibility. Yep, Jeeves is fired indeed. And in Kyron's neighborhood, they fight Kane. Right back to the UK where he came from. Quick, go inside, get you. Good Lord, don't let him land in the water. There's so much water. Gadget. Inspector Gadget. Go, Gadget, go. Go, Gadget, go. Inspector Gadget. Go, Gadget, go. Go, Gadget, go. Aaron says, I'm going to be on Top 5 Live tonight with Morgan and Javon. We'll be discussing Top 5 90s cartoons. There you go. That's a good subject. I have to have some Doug in there. I have more trouble than I would have thought sometimes keeping straight where like some things started and other things ended in the 90s. No Doug on my list, he said. He's too good for Doug, said Kyron. Doug can kick rocks, Kyron said. I don't know why he had such a beef against Doug, but he did. And it seemed like a delicate subject, so I didn't want to pry. Didn't want to pry for fear I'd make him crazy, said the rhyming fishy. Bum-ba-dum-ba-dum-bum. Bum-ba-dum-ba-dum-bum-bum. Bum-ba-dum. 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 I just said Doug because Doug was one of the first things I could think of that I knew was an 80s because somebody was showing me a picture of one of his Doug fan art drawings yesterday on one of my live streams that I did. And Mr. Vicious becoming a little streaming darling. I don't mean to rub your noses in it. Now I know, Kyron's up in that 1% of the 1%, but I don't mind telling y'all, Uncle Fishy has made $9.53 off of his live streams on TikTok lately. Dollar bill, yo. Dollars and change. Ooh, dollars and change going straight to my PayPal within so many days. Yeah, baby. That's how we do. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. That's what Uncle Fishy says. And Uncle Fishy would know. Yep. Well, on my way to being a famous internet star. $9. We're talking American money now. We're not talking Filipino pesos or Mexican dollars or nothing. No, no, no. We're talking big, fat, juicy American dollars. I'm gonna be out there making it sprinkle. Ooh. Make sure what color that is for it. Not very far off of his skin tone, really. Katie just wishes she was out there making $9.53 on her live stream. Yep. Pretty big deal. Don't make her evident. But the cool thing is, that's like purely from people like spamming the like button for me, like I do when any of my friends go on live, and I'll just be on there going the whole time that I'm on there, and that adds up and ends up translating into diamonds and whatnot, and Skadoosh, that's a little extra pay coming in. I really did not think I was going to end up spending so much time on TikTok when I first downloaded it. I was totally biased against it, like most of the guys my age are. And I still talk to a lot of people, like when I go on other podcasts or something, that are like, TikTok, nah, I ain't got no time for that. I'm not about to be doing no silly dances or eating Tide Pods. And I'm like, oh man, you're missing an opportunity, dude. And then I start telling them about some of what's been going on, like with the shops and stuff. And I'm like, oh, man, I mean, you can do that on there? Oh man, I didn't know that. And and I'll just start telling people like the amount of stuff I learn on TikTok. Like I follow so many awesome writers and stuff on TikTok, and like novel writers, screenwriters, all kinds of folks, and the tips and stuff they give for like writing compelling bad guys and whatnot are amazing. Or like drawing people into your story and getting them invested in the characters and whatnot. Like it's such good stuff. Not to mention all the artists and comic creators and stuff that are on there to follow and get to see cool artwork and hear about awesome stories they're working on. It's too cool to not want to jump in there and learn. And like the amount of stuff I've learned about my own ADHD since joining TikTok has been through the roof. Because there's so many awesome people on there explaining like why we do some of the things that we do and why certain things work the way they do. And man, it's just great. I love it. See you later, Phil. Glad you could hang out with us, man. Thank you for stopping by. It's always good to hang out with you. Yeah, that being the same color as the skin's not going to work. I'm going to have to do something. I asked Jeeves what to do, but Carmen done fired him back across the pond. Jeeves was my go-to. What am I going to do if I can't ask Jeeves? What a bunch. Oh man, I missed a whole section there. Bum, 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 bum. I know there's a color I'm looking for and I'm not seeing it, which means it's probably right from the face. What? Right. I've got some of these in bags because I'm trying to separate them into the colors I'm going to be taking with me to shows. And these are colors that I've been using a lot. I'm trying to hone it down to the colors that I use all the time. And so I got them a little bit out of order, but I can't find the one. Let's try this one and see. Don't do that then. Now try something. I'm gonna try making some of these kind of bleed out like they've soaked into the tablecloth. That's pretty cool. That's yellow. I keep thinking that's pink and it's not. It's a yellow. Okay, where's R20? There's R30. I'll look it up. That's pretty low. And for all I know, it may not even come with R20. It doesn't come with a lot of the ones in between where I want it to be. Is that color? No, it's brown. There we go. That's not bad. I mean, like the skin colors to be a little bit different from the thing, but I don't have a really good color. I don't think it's gonna mess that up. Try this one. So this one. Maybe if I just do. Oh, I forgot I gotta do the gold on his bracelet. Bracelet. I like that. That one needs to go in the mix. Yellows. That's what I need. Got my yellows I'm taking pretty much nailed down. I go in weird order. Like yellow 3 is the lightest of the yellows. Yellow 2 is darker. And then like yellow 5 starts going into the oranges. All right, I'm gonna call that one done for right now. They're fun. They take a little bit of getting used to, but they're fun. And like these who or whatever they're called, or who OHUHUH. They're very cheap. Like you can get like I want to say it's like you can get like an 80 pack for like $40 or something like that. Or I can't remember. You can get a bunch of them for cheap. They're like, 50 cents a piece or something like that. And they're almost as good as Copics. They are not as good as Copics, but they're so close. And they blend pretty well, and they've got a lot of colors, and you can get them so much cheaper than paying $6 or $8 a piece for Copics. That like I've got a Copic skin color set that I asked for Christmas that has some nice colors, but for less money, I got this big giant set of Oahu skin color markers that came in this bag that I'm trying to use to cut down to the bag that I'm going to take to shows with me. But like I got this whole set for Christmas from my wife's grandma or something, and it was not that bad. Now we got to do a sketch card for homie. Let's see. I'm gonna do a Bellamy sketch card because Guy Gardner is like very different than Melanie, and I think that'll be a nice little juxtaposition. Now let me look up some Guy Gardner images just to make sure that I get him right. I mean, he's always got such a stupid haircut. Oh, that's a cool one. But I kind of dig the collar. That's very, I want to pop my collar kind of guy. And I get that. All right, let me pull up one of these images so I can see it good. All right. Little old Guy Gardner. Gardening for the guys. Needs to have a cocky head tip going on, I believe. For some reason, I want to give Guy Gardner cauliflower ears. I guess just because he strikes me as somebody who's been punched a lot. I'm glad to see they eventually got rid of the Three Stooges haircut. Sorry, I get quiet. Get to focusing, and next thing you know, I'm quiet fishy. Sounds like the mail lady's come to get yesterday's packages and take them off to their bikes. Thank you, mail lady. I would say thank you, Brandy, because she's my regular mail lady. But anymore, she's gotten to the point to where she doesn't hardly have to do her route anymore. She's paying one of the part-timers to fill in, so she's got more time off. And I don't blame her. Thank y'all for hanging out with me while I'm working. I was hoping to get some pages of COD done today, but if you got somebody willing to pay you to do a sketch cover, you gotta get on that. The sketch covers have been doing pretty well on TikTok. I'm afraid the customer might be a little disappointed that this one wasn't done on TikTok. I hope not. But hopefully I can download this and edit it and get it on there for them so they can see it too. That will work for that. I always find it hard to talk when I'm focusing on drawing. Yeah, I feel you. And like usually I can do pretty good, but like when I'm especially when I'm doing stuff that I haven't done before, I tend to get a lot quieter. Like when I'm doing Guy Gardner, who I've probably drawn 3 times before in my entire life. Hal Jordan is one of those superhero characters that I actually have drawn several times because I really liked the idea. I didn't read the comics all that much, but I did love the idea of him. But I just like I've said before, I wasn't that big a fan of the comics because they just really tended to all be the same dude in different mask and whatnot back in my day in DC. You know, and there were so many times that like Batman and Superman would switch identities and like Batman would be wearing a rubber mask of Superman with his ears underneath it. And I just couldn't. I just couldn't take that. Seriously. But they got to doing much more interesting stuff with them eventually. And the problem is, once they started doing really cool stuff with them, I was too busy raising kids and stuff to really be able to keep up with it. Kyron asks, how many more sketch covers do I have to do? And that depends, because I could well have another order by the time I get done with this. But as of right now, this was the last sketch cover and the last sketch card that I've got ordered right this second. But we'll see how that goes, because they've been coming in pretty regular. I had one dude order 4 sketch covers now. Which is awesome. Like, I was working on one of his sketch covers and he ordered another one on the spot. It's like, hey, I want you to do this for me now. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. May I have another? I should probably do a green aura around him, shouldn't I? I've been selling so many of these books and sketch covers and whatnot that, like, for a lot of people, I've already given away all of the stickers and stuff that I've already had made, and I didn't realize I was going to need more than what I got. And because I made a lot of stickers, but like when somebody comes through and orders every book you got, well, they very quickly got all the stickers and trading cards and stuff that I had. And so I'm trying to think of other things to do. And I've been selling so many copies of T-Man and Hyperstrike that I really didn't expect to sell as well as they've been selling. And so I last night made up some, when I wasn't sleeping again. Karen really should have had Jeeves hanging out with me because I was bored. But anyway, while I was hanging out last night, couldn't sleep, I made some T-Man and Hyperstrike stickers and got those ordered. And ordered a few things I'm going to need, like now that I'm streaming from both rooms with my cell phone. I need to get a new clamp for like when I'm working in here and one for when I'm working in the living room and whatnot. But yeah, I'm excited about those new stickers coming in. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm getting die cut stickers for the first time. I haven't done that before. Time to start selling more blood and semen, sounds like. Don't nobody want it. I had that in my shop forever. Didn't nobody buy it. That came out pretty nice, I think. What do y'all think? Good enough for the chicks we date. That's what Kyron says. I'm going to tell Kyron's wife he's out there dating. And I'm going to get half of that 1% of the 1% money. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't tattle on Kyron. He's my friend. He's better not tell me nothing because I can't keep a secret to save my life. Yeah, I think that came out pretty cool. It is a big difference to the Mrs. Nesbitt cover with the Mighty Call, but you know, hey, to each their own. The heart wants what the heart wants. I'm not about to judge. Aaron says, that's a great looking guy, Gardner. Thank you very much. I wish I was selling the merch. Most of it I'm giving away for free with the books, which is, you know, partly why like I'm ordering such a large number of stickers because it brings the price down. And man, I've looked all over the place and I cannot find any place as good a price as Amazon for the stickers. And I look everywhere. Like I looked on Amazon for postcards and stuff. They can't beat some of the other places. But the stickers, like when I went looking for labels on Amazon, I found much better prices for labels there than stickers anywhere else, like Sticker Mule. Like I cannot pay the same amount of money. No, like it's 2 or 3 times more expensive going to Sticker Mule to get a run of stickers than it is to go get like 120 labels made at Amazon. And you end up, you know, with nice high quality stickers. They even do die cut. I just didn't do die cut on any of these so far, but I am on these new ones. And the stickers come out nice and they're durable and they're, you know, printed on vinyl and everything. They come out really nice. And I can get these down to, you know, like 20 cents a piece or something, 23, something like that, 25. And it makes them easier to give away with a $10 comic book and give them a little extra something special to go with it. A sticker maker? No, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna have to look at it and see. Because if it'll be the way I'm doing them myself at home, I'd be all about it. Like now we've got I bought my wife a Cricut for her birthday last year or something, or Christmas, I can't remember. And anyway, we just unpacked this thing the other day, and it's pretty cool. I've been playing with it, and I could totally start printing my own stickers and then laminate them with some protective coating and cut them on the Cricut. But they're never going to be quite as nice as these. Like, they'd be cheaper to produce a handful of them, but they're always going to be a little bit of bleed underneath that protective layer if it gets wet or something. And people stick their stickers to all kinds of things. So if it was going to be something I could make them at home, it would have to be quality that they could stick it on the back window of their car and it wouldn't go bad. I've been thinking about designing some vinyl designs that I could cut out, for people stick on their back windshield of their car or whatever, if they wanted it, that I could cut out. And I may start offering t-shirts again at some point soon, now that we can cut out the stuff and make them ourselves, like the shop I was using here locally did, for my Tourette's t-shirts with T-Man and Hyperstrike. So you never know. But I'm all about figuring out new things and new ways of making a revenue stream. But also, like, I kind of got to limit some stuff because I've been so busy packing packages and making new videos and stuff to advertise that I've been putting these packages out so that I'll get more orders, and doing live streams on TikTok where I'm doing people's covers so that I get another order for another cover, that I haven't been working on any books, and I got to balance that out somehow and find time to get the next issue of Kaw finished too, or else, it'd be nice to keep just selling books, but I want to put out more books than just the one. But yeah, man, send me the info on those sticker makers. I would really like to check those out and see what you're talking about. Anyway, that's 2 hours, dang, of School of Fish. So thank y'all for hanging out, and I appreciate it. Hope y'all had fun. I know I did, and I got some work done. I'm gonna mosey on out of here and get this packed up, and maybe even get it out to the post office today, which would be nice. And anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it, and I'll see most of y'all on Thursday, Lord willing and creek don't rise. And of course, I'll be streaming live on TikTok now and then, doing other art to bring in the attention to make the sales. So anyway, I'll see y'all later. Thank you for hanging out. Have a good day.
Hello, everybody. It is your Uncle Fish back again for School of Fish art stream. J-Man wants a Gatling gun on the end of his tail. Oh my goodness. J-Man says the tail's where you put all the heavy artillery. Damn. Said he used to have a howitzer on the end of his tail.